Today we're going to talk about equations and simple functions. Equations and simple functions. Okay, when we talk about equation and simple functions, we're talking about ordering of operations and algebra. Ordering of operations and algebra. We all have worked with calculations that's used brackets, have used multiplication, have used division, addition, subtraction. But when we do these kind of operations, when we work out these kind of algebraic expressions, we need to make sure there's an order in which it gets done. Okay, there has to always form or follow a particular order. So if you have a look at this, as you already know, that order doesn't necessarily mean left to right, guys. That order we're talking about is, for example, if I say 2 plus 5 times 8, what will my calculation be? Now, most people will know first to calculate these two and get 40 and then add the 2. But if you decided to do it the other way around, add that 2 and then multiply that and got 56, your answer would be wrong. So therefore, the order in which you carry out a calculation is very important. So we're going to work with something called BIDMAS. Okay, so this, firstly, we know is we always solve brackets first. And then indices, okay, which is also index. Division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay, so this is the order in which we work. Okay, so BIDMAS. So when we're working out an order of calculation, it's important to know this. This is a useful way of remembering how to actually calculate, the order in which to calculate. Okay, so everybody understands. We start with brackets, index, division, multiplication. Guys, I say division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, but it can be division or multiplication, addition or subtraction. But we cannot do addition before multiplication or subtraction before. We have to do them in sort of this order, but in this ratio, within these operations, we can do one or the other first. Okay. So I'm going to clear now the screen. Okay, so the order in which we work out an expression or an operation applies when working algebraic expressions. So when we, for example, simplifying stuff, when we're simplifying expressions. So if we have to be simplifying expressions. And I say 3a plus 4a times 5 minus 2a. Where do I start first? Okay, I will first start with the multiplication because we've established that the multiplication must be done before addition and before subtraction. So multiplication first. Okay, so we multiply 4a times 5, and we know 4a times 5 is going to give us 20a. And then we've got 3a plus minus 2a. Then what do we do? Before we do the subtraction, we'll do addition. We add that 2 up. So 3a plus 20a will give us 23a. And then we will finally minus 2a, and our answer should be 21a. So guys, when we have expressions like these, or knowing how to order the calculation makes a huge difference, knowing where to start. Because if you do not start, like I said, not necessarily left to right, but if you don't follow BIDMAS, you wouldn't be able to come to your correct answer. Yes, you may start at the left, you may start in the on the right, but you will not come to your correct answer if you do not follow BIDMAS. Okay, so let's work out another one. So if I say 3p plus 5, 4p minus 6 minus 7p, where would I start here? Firstly, the brackets must be expanded first. Okay, so firstly, the brackets must be expanded first. So we've got 4p, we've got 5 times 4, and then we've got 5 times 6. Agreed? So we're going to first do 5 times 4, and that's going to give us 20p. Then we're going to do 5 times 6, and that's going to be 30. Okay, so now what do? We're going to add that to first, and we're going to say equal to 23p, and then we've got minus 30 minus 7. So what do we do next? We've got 23p. We'll have to put together like terms. So we're going to take that and bring it down here. Minus 7p minus 30. 23p minus 7p is going to give us 16p. And then we're just going to say minus 30. And that's where the expression stops. That's as far as we can simplify it. Okay, so we started with sorry, you want, we multiply. Where there's brackets, brackets means we need to multiply. So we've started off here by multiplying because we first have to expand our brackets. There's no x, we're talking about 5 multiplied by 4 is 20, 5 multiplied by 6 is 30. Okay? So guys, you already know that with the brackets, that's exactly where we are multiplying. The 5 is in our calculation, so that's exactly where we're getting it from. Okay, so here we have to solve our brackets first. Now, when we talk about indices or an index, indices is basically the plural of an index. The expressions we are talking about here, for example, is A2 or B3 or Y5. What are we talking about here? We're saying the numbers, we are talking about the numbers are raised. It's raised. So we say A to the power of 2 or B to the power of 3, or we could even say A squared or B cubed, Y to the power 3. These numbers here are known as an index or indices, okay? So these type of expressions, when we work it out or multiply it, we can add it, we can subtract it, we can multiply it, we can divide it when we work with powers that have been raised. Okay, so for example, if I have to show you the square and I say A and an A, how will I work? Sorry. How will I work this out? It's A2 plus A2, which is going to give me 2A squared. Do you guys understand that? Okay, so let's move along. I want to show you another. It's an area, if its area is A times A, it will equal to A squared. Okay, so if you have A a. This will equal to a squared plus a squared, or 2a times a, and your answer will give you 2a squared. Okay, and that's how you work out with index. Now, let's do an example together. Let's simplify this expression. Seven b squared minus 3b squared. Okay, this is a really straightforward and easy one. Both have the same term, so we can minus directly. So we can say 7 take away 3 is equal to 4b squared. So this one was quite straightforward. Let's try and do something that's slightly more, maybe slightly more challenging. So if we say 5a squared plus 2a squared plus 4a plus 9a. Okay, first thing we do is we add the like terms. Okay, so in this instance we're going to say 7a squared plus 2a squared is going to give us 7a squared, and 4a plus 9a is going to give us 13a. And that's where you add, because remember, they do not look identical, so we cannot add terms together that are not, they do not look alike, that are not identical. Okay, let's try and do this. 5 4c minus 1 plus 6c squared minus 4. Okay, once again, we're going to use BidMath, and with BidMath, we're going to start with our brackets first. And remember, we multiply. So 5 times 4, and we're going to say 5 times 1. 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, sorry about that. Is 20c, and 5 times 1 is 5, plus 6 times c, it's like 6 times 1, so it'll equal to 6c squared, minus 6 times 4 is 24. So we've expanded the brackets. Now what must we do? Now we need to simplify by adding the like terms, so the ones that look the same. So which ones look the same? We can add this one and this one because they are the same. So 5 plus 24 is going to give us 29. But starting on this end, we can say 6c squared plus 20c minus 29. And that's as far as you can simplify that expression. Okay, let's do another one. 5 2j plus 3 minus 5 2j squared minus 6 plus 5. Once again, using BidMath, we solve our brackets first. We expand our brackets, and 5 times 2j is going to give us 10j, plus 5 times 3 is going to give us 15. Then we're going to say minus, because there's the minus. 5 times 2j is going to give us 10j squared, plus 5 times 6 is going to give us 30, plus 5. Okay, now what do? We need to simplify by collecting the like terms. Which ones are the like terms? So the like terms here is this one and this one. So we're going to say 30. No, firstly we're going to say 10j plus 10j, and then we've got 15, and then we've got 5 that add up together. But 15 plus 5, no, sorry, this is meant to be a minus. 15 minus 5 is going to give us 10, and 10 plus 30 will give us 40. Okay, so we're going to say 30j cubed minus, oh, let me redo this, guys. Sorry. So, sorry, guys, once again, it's equal to 30j cubed minus 10j squared plus 10 plus 40. And that's as far as that calculation would go.